So I've just had to come back through Sydney after a hunt with a really good bloke called Nam. Nam was a Vietnamese guy. He's sort of an immigrant success story. Came over, studied here, graduated, became a health professional, and brought his family over. And I actually say I really enjoyed my 2 days with Nam. He was very insightful, very intelligent, and I think some of his opinions on the structure of world politics, obviously shaped by the history of his country, will likely stick with me for the rest of my life. So what happened was, the first morning we snuck into the forest and we ran into a group of about 8 fallow, just meandering through the clearing. They may have been a bit spooked on us. We did kind of beeline it to them. We didn't have the most cover. It was kind of a sparse forest. And he rested himself on a log and didn't pull the trigger because he didn't feel confident. A lot of us are just super excited, want to get a deer on deck, want to get the job done, especially it could be 2, 3, sometimes 4 days before we even see an animal, let alone get an opportunity. But he didn't do that. He waited, and that's fine. And commended him on that. And I said, you know what? Let's come back in the afternoon. Let's go find their trail. They're going to be there. They weren't so alarmed, if at all. And then we'll go and get back in touch with the herd. And that's what we did.
Okay, mate, what are we having now?
Mate, for the second time, we're having fried potatoes with diced venison, and then we're going to have a couple of eggs cracked on top. Just salt and pepper, very simple.
Nice.
It is nice, man. You'll love it. So that afternoon we went back. We sort of figured out which trail they'd taken into the forest to go and shelter. And we saw them again. Stand up, you can see them. Bucks. Walk to the tree. Go to the tree. This time, Nam sort of postured himself how I taught him to, and shot at a deer, but unfortunately hit low and hit a log. Let them go, let them go. Unload the rifle. How do you feel? Do you feel you hit him? Now the deer wasn't injured. We looked for blood exhaustively, and thankfully there was none. It's much better to miss than it is to injure an animal. And thankfully we missed. So, speaking to Nam and asking what happened, he felt stable, he felt good. The animals weren't in a rush, he had all the time in the world. He listened to the advice I gave him from the morning, which was, don't try and follow the creature with your crosshair. Put your crosshair in front of the animal and anticipate their vitals moving in front, and then exercise good trigger control, right? And he did all that, but what we ran into and how he described it to me was buck fever. He got excited, he got nervous, and even though I saw him do the right things, perhaps that composure you need for correct trigger control and really just control in general didn't really work out how he wanted. And so, mad respect to Nam. He said, he wanted me to hunt or take the animal from then on. And so what we did is we just went into a clearing. I pretty much knew we weren't going to see any animals after the shot went off. And we ended up watching some beautiful birds and then talking together and whispering about, what happened and life and things like that. And it was awesome. I had a great time. And so the next morning was a bit of a bust. We didn't have any luck. But that afternoon we went into the pines, and the plan was I'd put Nam looking this way and I would look this way. We had radios, so if Nam saw a creature, he'd radio me and I would come and take it out. Or if I saw something, I would just go and take it out and we could get some meat. I saw the animal first. I spotted this really nice, healthy fallow doe, and she was just on the edge of the young pines, feeding into the blackberry bush next to a four-wheel drive track.
Might not be there when I get there, but probably worth a go.
So then me and Buck went down, put a stalk on, went around the corner and yeah, took her out.
Well, turns out she was still here. Cheeky boy, shouldn't have followed me. Nice hard shot.
Nam was happy, I was over the moon. I really respect that he wasn't, you know, kind of do or die, I'm gonna get a deer no matter what, because he didn't sacrifice the idea of the humane destruction of the animal, right? He didn't compromise that. He really exercised good principles and good restraints, and I really respect that. And we got meat out of it nonetheless. And Nam, I'm so glad that this has only energized your hunting career, that you're going to go and practice more and get more into it. And the only way that we spoke about, that you're really going to diminish the effects of buck fever, I think it's almost impossible to completely eliminate it, is just to get out hunting and get in front of more and more animals so that the event doesn't seem like this huge culmination, right? Leading to all this stress and anxiety. It simply just becomes part of business, right? So I had a great time. While I'm in Sydney, I want to go do a bit of fishing. This is kind of my old little honey hole, so hopefully the tide brings in some decent whiting like it always does. But yeah, I'm Luke from Forest to Fork. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's just I love this olive tree. Happy hunting.